Hey guys, my name is Devonte, and I sacrifice my time so you don't have to. Well, I got a good night's sleep. Did you guys get a good night's sleep? I slept like a baby, a sweet powdery baby. Granted, it's only been 7 hours, but you know what? 7 hours of sleep, that's actually fantastic for me. But yeah, let's talk about this real quick because I'm seeing a lot of scuttlebutt, a lot of whispers. Tiptoe through the tulips with me. Oh, sorry, but no. Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about the match last night with Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page, and they're just all like, "This is a terrible match. Look at what this match has done to the business. It's setting it back 30 years. It's setting it back 50 years. No, it's setting it back caveman times. What are you talking about, mister? If you're gonna virtue signal, put your chest into the virtue signal." And then you have other people who are like, "Shut the fuck up. You're behind the times, old man. What are you doing screaming at the crowds? Old man, what are you doing? You're gonna die soon from looking at something that violent, you little pussy, old man." Like, I shit you not, there are so many people discussing about it. Now, granted, obviously I'm over-exaggerating, although there are some nutcases out there who are probably dying on the hill that they have no business even looking at or going towards as far as the hill is considered, because it's not that big of a fucking deal. But, okay, whatever. My problem with this is the amount of comments from people who justify their opinions by first stating, "I cannot wait to see Jim Cornette's take on this." And that's the part that rubs me the wrong way. Like, if you truly feel this is a terrible and a horrible match, then yeah, you have every right to express your opinion. I don't give a shit. I mean, the whole, you're exaggerating. The people who usually say stuff like that, like you're exaggerating or you're being ridiculous or stuff like that, it's usually people of the opposite opinion. So always take that for, like, don't, and that goes for anything in life. Whenever talking to someone about their opinion, if they come to you and they start, you take things too seriously, or why did you watch, or any of this bullshit nonsense, it's nothing more than them beating around the bush, and they themselves don't want to actually engage with whatever you're talking about or put themselves into a position where they have to present an argument because they know it's dog shit. So rather than actually do any of that stuff, they just go the ad hominem route. And they just started throwing out, nonsense, and don't pay it any mind. Nonsense. They're just the opposite of whatever you're actually reacting to. But if you truly feel this way about this match, then okay, cool. That's your opinion. In the end of the day, I can see where you're coming from when talking about Swerve and Hangman Adam Page. They did a lot of shit in that match that like, okay, Jim Cornette's main argument when looking at something along the lines of this is not just how gross it is or any of that stuff. It's actually going deep dive into all of it and telling you why he feels that it's gross. Like, not just the whole situation of having glass on the floor and hitting people with chairs of barbed wire and lighting tables on fires and stuff like that, although that didn't happen in the match, but just being an example. He sees it more as an indictment on the professional wrestling business. He sees it more as a blot on the professional wrestling business. He feels like, because he's a promoter at heart, he's a booker at heart, so when he sees someone doing something retarded that he feels is retarded, for an example, and he's trying to sell tickets, and he's trying to most likely, get a family environment so more people are attracted to whatever he's trying to put out there, whether we're talking about advertisers or sponsors. That's his mindset. He's a promoter in there. He doesn't think like a fan. As a fan, I don't think, that's why I always and I think I did it beforehand a couple years ago, and I don't do it anymore because I came to the conclusion that whenever having to apply logic to Jim Cornette, you can never look at Jim Cornette's perspective from your perspective as just some fan. You know what I mean? Like, you have to take into context that Jim Cornette is a promoter. The way he thinks is going to be completely different from the way you think. And when he's actually going after the wrestlers, he's not necessarily going after them from an entertainment perspective. He may say some things along the lines of like, "Oh, you didn't, why go through the trouble of putting yourself through so much damage and hurting your body for our entertainment perspective, where I'm way more entertained by a guy like Rock or Austin who don't do half the damage that you do to your body." I get that perspective. I get that way of looking at it. But Jim Cornette's main way of thinking is, you're going to make our product look like a bunch of bumbling idiots, and no one's gonna want to watch us because they're gonna be too embarrassed to want to see the product. I think the wrestling fans don't understand that perspective, and yet you have this sheep-like mentality who come around Jim Cornette's opinion, and they try to more or less use his talking points in order to, I don't know if it's like to set them aside, because, you know, you have a lot of young adults, especially the ones who are under the age of 25, who just want to fit in so fucking badly, bro. Like, they just want so badly to be a part of a group that they'll just say shit and do shit when in reality they have absolutely no intelligence in regards to what they're talking about, whether you're talking about politics and socialists and progressives who have absolutely no fucking idea the ideology that's behind it, because if they did, they wouldn't be on their fucking cell phones typing it out and sending it to you and telling you why you're an idiot on the fucking internet, on their cell phone, and their Gucci jeans, sitting on their bed, they telling you why socialism is good. These people don't understand the ideology of what they're pertaining towards, right? The same thing can be said about a professional wrestling fan when talking about Jim Cornette. It's like you don't understand Jim's mindset when looking at something, yet you're parodying his talking points. If you genuinely feel that way because you don't like garbage matches, that's one thing. But when you're just outwardly saying something because Jim Cornette said it and the rest of his community said it, and you're a part of that community, and you don't want to seem like, okay, well, I don't want to be the odd man now, when in reality, you probably did like the match. It's okay to like it, bro. I liked the match last night. Mind you, my mindset is more so closely aligned with a Jim Cornette and, you know, the way of how he thinks about the business. Just because I actually grew up in the era of what he discusses as, you know, being the good times or whatnot. I mean, not the entire aspect of it, obviously, because I wasn't born in the 80s, but the stars that he admires the most, you know, they were prominent during the time that I watched professional wrestling. You know, the business evolved dramatically from the point of time when I was watching it versus where it's at right now. I've been watching professional wrestling for nearly 30 years now. That's just the way that it is. But you have people who actually grew up in this era. Like, you came into professional wrestling like circa 2008. You know, some of you even came in circa 2014. Some of you even came in circa 2018. And it's like, you don't know the business in any other shape and form. This is how you know the business. You know the business the way you came into the business in terms of being a fan. Like, I never understood that logic because it's like they're trying to fit in so badly with the crowd. It's just ridiculous to me. If you like something, just go fucking like it. You know what I mean? Like, just go fucking do it. Am I going to criticize the product or even criticize your way of thinking in regards to your opinion structured around the match? Depends how you actually go out of your way to proclaim your love for it. But overall, though, in the end of the day, bro, at least you're doing you. I'll have way more respect for a person who outwardly tells me to fuck off because they like a match versus a guy who sides with my opinion because, well, I'm part of Millennial Smarks channel and he has this opinion about this and therefore I should fucking... No, man, like, don't do that. Don't be a parrot. Don't be a sheep. Like, say what the fuck's on your mind and like it. If you truly like it, you truly like it. If you truly dislike it, you truly dislike it. And it just bugs me out because you have professional wrestling fans who don't legitimately have an actual mindset to think for their own self. Like, I'm not saying you have to be a free thinker to the point that your brain falls out of your fucking ears because you're just that much of a fucking contrarian. It's okay to be a contrarian. I'm a contrarian, naturally. But, you know, don't be so much of a contrarian that you just completely, you know, ignore all logic and facts. But at the same time, though, don't just be a contrarian for the sake of being a contrarian because the guy that you follow happens to be a fucking contrarian overall because he has his reasons for being a contrarian. You don't. You're just parodying his talking points. And last night, I'm going to say it outright. I thought that Hangman, Adam Page, and Swerve Strickland had a fun match. It was a great match. Some people even might look at me and say that I'm being a hypocrite because there are certain instances when looking at professional wrestling, when garbage matches actually occur, that I trash it all the fucking time. See, and that's what I mean when I say never parrot my talking points, or for that matter, anybody's talking points when you don't know the underlying message or the philosophy behind said talking point. My perspective when looking at garbage matches have always been that it has to have a story behind it. It has to have a reasoning behind it. Like, if you don't have a story or a reasoning and you're just going out there and doing dumb shit for the sake of doing dumb shit for people who are like below the age of 17 and it's like 6 of them in the fucking auditorium in your local school gym and your payoff is probably like mustard on your hot dog, maybe some relish if you're fucking lucky and the promoter's being generous, then yeah, you're a complete and utter dumb fuck. You don't have any exposure. You don't have any body paying you any type of monetary sum, for real. You're hurting yourself, and I mean that kind of what you're doing to your body drastically outweighs the outcome. You know what I'm trying to say? The actual reward. The sacrifices are more than the award. That's my problem when looking at matches like this. You're just doing it for the sake of doing it, and you're gonna ruin it for a match that actually truly needs it. Like Swerve and Hangman Adam Page. They truly need it. Their feud, albeit I will say that, you know, as I said before on the Dynamite stream, it could have been a little bit more, they could have played it up a little tiny bit more before coming to this match. Like, if this match would have happened like the third in the trilogy, I think I would have been more okay with this, but it's not to say at the very least they don't have justification for it. That's what I'm looking at. The justification aspect. Now, again, is it to my standards of justification? Not really, but at the very least, there is reason and plausibility to have justification. That's what I want. You guys see me talk about this all the time. One of my favorite matches in the history of professional wrestling, actually two matches, happen to be garbage matches, and it is two matches that happen to be garbage matches from your perspective also. The TLC matches, whether you're talking about SummerSlam or WrestleMania or even the Triangle Ladder match at the previous WrestleMania with the Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, or Edge and Christian, or really any Mick Foley match, but in particular, his match with Triple H in Madison Square Garden at the Royal Rumble. Those were garbage matches, but they told a story. And you can sit there and you can be like, well, Devontae, did they have to go the way of using staples? Well, Devontae, did they have to go the way to use barbed wire in the manner that they use barbed wire? Did they have to go out of their way to use cinder blocks because it's ridiculous to use those type of, you know, weapons when in reality it doesn't do anything? And in fact, you may even say that it takes so much logic out of what actually occurs when you use these weapons in real life that it might kind of ruin your story a little tiny bit because it's just so illogical that it takes you out of the scenario. See, that right there is an argument that I can hear and see from a person who doesn't like it, but to just outwardly say it's a garbage match and I have no reason to like it because they're using too many weapons. The weapons, look at, he's stapling him. Like, I don't, okay, that's cool that you have that. Okay, that's your reasoning, right? That's the reason why you don't like the match, because they're using staples. Why do you hate the fact that they're using staples? People always stop at that surface level, and it always comes right back to, again, it's always the same people, and you can look through their comment history that will always come back, and it doesn't have to be Jim Cornette. You can even talk about, say, for example, the sex appeal argument I usually put out there for professional wrestling fans, and in particular males, to want to gravitate towards. I like sex appeal because I'm a grown-ass man. I want to see women naked. That's what I like. I would much rather see that than the actual women. And you can make the same argument also, but if you started off with, well, Vince Russo used to book like this, okay, that's fine, but follow up with that argument as to why you believe the things that you believe. If you just say, well, Vince Russo believes that, then you're just appealing to authority, and you're just appealing to, sound like Mike Tyson here, you're just appealing to authority in the end of the day, and that's a fallacy. And if you can't recognize that fallacy, then you can't really have a discussion. People who admire people within the business, especially more prominent figures who have, you know, they have a lot of qualifications, if you will, credibility, if you will, to have set opinions. That's fine at the end of the day, but they don't have to be the end all be all, and they damn sure don't have to speak for you. Speak for yourself. Don't be a sheep. If Jim Cornette has a certain opinion about a match, or Vince Russo has a certain opinion about something, or Eric Bischoff has a certain opinion about something, or Dave Meltzer has a certain opinion about something, you don't have to follow every fucking snippet of their mindset. Now, if you do like it, then embrace it and talk about it. And if you feel as if you're in a community, even if you're within my community and you feel we're toxic and you hate us and all that other kind of shit, that's fine. Leave the community. I'm one of the only people who will tell you outwardly that I don't care for your subscription. It's awesome because you're an audience, and I want to be able to talk to people and actually have conversations about controversial things in professional wrestling that the big time streamers and the big time wrestling people don't want to talk about because they are afraid of alienating their audiences. There's a reason why I go out of my way to not monetize my channel. For people who were saying, oh, you didn't monetize the channel for Millennial Smart because, hey, in the end of the day, you couldn't because you had so many strikes on your channel and all this other kind of stuff, even though I could have theoretically at the 1,000 subscriber mark for my other channel just stopped doing what I was doing, deleted all my videos. Well, here's your proof right here. I'm on a completely new channel. I'm at 1,000 subscribers. I have over 10,000 watch hours already within 2 months, still not monetize. Why? Because I truly, I'm the only person who can say this because I'm living it. I don't care about your money. I do not want your money. I will never go out of my way to advertise my channel. I will never go out of my way to charge you guys anything. I don't want your money. Now, if there are time comes if I want to open up a Patreon, understand that the Patreon will be dedicated to projects, special projects that if you want to see, you can plunk down money for. And trust me, I ain't gonna charge a lot, but trust me, that ain't happening for a long time. Those special projects, like the project that's coming up, the Downfall Professional Wrestling, that's the kind of shit that I'm going to probably be doing for a Patreon. And I probably charge you guys like a fucking $1 just to watch it, just to make it worth my time to want to do the fucking project. But just watching my opinion, no, I would never do anything to you guys to make you want to fucking feel as if you have to pay me in order to be within my niche. You have to pay me or watch my advertisers in order to be within my community. No, you want to stay with my community, you can stay in it. You want to stay out of it, you can stay out of it. But I am who I am, and I say the things that I want to say. Do not parrot, there we go, my talking points, because hey, I have a community that says a lot of things that you feel is cool, or counterculture or contrarian or whatever the case may be. Don't just say it because you think it feels cool. Say it because, hey, it's actually fucking something that you actually believe. And if you feel that we're toxic and you feel that I'm toxic, then hey, man, you ain't got to go back and forth with you don't have to go back and forth with people about opinions that you don't hold a standard to. Just go follow people who holds that belief just like you. But don't be a liar. Don't lie to yourself. Don't do it just because the person that you look up to or the person that you're following at the moment happens to hold that opinion. Don't do that. Like I said, and I'll tell you this outright, I respect people more when we have a discussion about a disagreement versus people who just blindly follow the things that I say. Don't do that with me. Don't do that with Jim Cornette. And no, I'm not comparing each other before you get the people come out of the nowhere and like, oh, you compare yourself to Jim Cornette. No, I'm not comparing myself to Jim Cornette. Not fucking doing that. But what I'm saying is, don't listen to my word. Don't listen to Jim Cornette's word. Don't listen to anybody's word. It's a difference between being influenced and being a straight up fucking stan. Don't be a stan. Never be a stan. Stans are gross. Stans are icky. Stans are sharp. Stans are Sasha Banks fans. Do you want to be Sasha Banks fans? Do you want to be a Sasha Banks stan? Do you want to be a Becky Lynch stan? Huh? Do you want to be a Alexa Bliss stan? No, I don't think you want to, because if that's the case, then you're going to be sticky down where right there. You see your pants? That white spot. Don't be sticky down there forever, folks. Don't do that to yourselves, okay? Don't be a stan. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, okay? Did you truly hate the Swerve Strickland match with Hangman Adam Page? Do you have some legitimate criticisms about the match? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you have a problem with what I'm saying? I don't think I'm saying anything that's controversial. Or at least that's not controversial compared to the other things that I'm saying. Nah, not even that. No, nothing that I said today was really that controversial at all. I'm saying, essentially, don't be a stand for talking points that you don't hold value to or don't actually care for, but you're just saying it just to be a sheep at the end of the day. I don't think I said anything controversial, but someone's gonna make it controversial. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you fine folks later. Deuces, P. Ice.